Hi, this is Steve. I'm with W&W, also known as Willard Van Honningen and Ward Vanderhurst.
That's
almost good, almost correct.
And they're from Amsterdam, and you know them as hot new trance producers that are gaining in popularity. They're in the Armada Music brand. So one of the things we like to know about is your creative process. How do you guys collaborate and...
Who does what, you mean? Like?
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly like, I make mostly the sounds, the synths, right? I start with making a sound, and
the
I always tell Ward to play some stuff, because he's like good with the keyboard, so he starts playing some stuff. And the rest, yeah, actually...
The rest we all do together.
Like beats, we do together mostly.
Yeah.
And that could get you pretty excited doing the beats sometimes. You lay down the bottom of the song, bottom of the track. So do you guys have some synths that you like to use, hardware synths?
Oh yeah, definitely. We mostly use like the silent one.
Yeah.
So it's a digital synth, like the VST. That's the one we use the most, I guess. And the Axis Virus TI, the hardware synth. We mostly combine
the Mini Moog.
Yeah, Touring Mini Moog sometimes, but we mostly like combine the sound of the silent and the virus.
We blend them together.
Is that a Mini Moog VST or a hardware Mini Moog?
Oh, VST.
VST.
Oh, okay, sure.
I think those are the synths we use the most. We mainly start with silent, because like with silent it's easy to build every sound from scratch. And yeah, virus as well.
Virus is really big.
Yeah, big and powerful sound. So good filtering, good releasing. So that's mostly the synths we use.
Yeah, our group is very familiar with both of those.
Heck, synths.
They're nice.
When you're building a new track, how long does it take you to go from start to finish?
It depends.
It depends. Like
sometimes it's like one day, just finish the track. Like our track Arena was finished in,
I think, 2
to 4 hours maybe. It was like we had the idea, and made the whole track immediately, and some main stage took us.
Main stage was about 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks every day.
Alpha was half a year.
Yeah.
We started it in November or something, and then
we had the lead melody and sound, but we didn't know what to do with the intro. If we went all trancey or just keep it like playing like it is now in the end, of course. It was so hard. We had like so many ideas already in there.
But then it's hard to actually finish it because you have so many different approaches on especially it was the intro actually.
The intro, yeah.
Which made it so hard. Because we had so many ingredients, and then at the end we just
threw it all out and just kept on with the bass line and
we had all this melodies in the intro,
edits.
but we threw them all out. And
well, not unlike other producers who are trying to get it right, you know, it's a lot of iterations sometimes. And when I'm building a new track, sometimes I end up throwing away the whole thing before I come up with something that's like I want.
We have that very often as well.
Yeah. Sometimes you start with an idea and then you end up with something totally different because you found a sound or it's a different kind of melody.
I just thought of another question. Do you have to avoid YouTube when you're developing a piece? Because there's so many pieces on YouTube.
To listen to, you mean?
Yeah.
Like you start copying it or something.
It might distract you, or change your mind about something. You know.
It can be good for inspiration if you like something. Oh yeah, I would like to do something like this, but then totally different sounds or different style. But I can use some elements. But yeah, we
it's not really a distraction. Like we watch like stupid movies on YouTube, junior producing. It's just when we watch something on YouTube, it's actually, you know, contributing something to the actual track.
I want something like this in that track, and you listen to the specific element and if it's usable or not in the.
It's not really a plug for YouTube, but I agree with that because I do that too. I have two big monitors, and I can put YouTube stuff on.
Yeah, exactly.
And then sort of pause it, and then go back to my Ableton, and then go back to the YouTube, and pull out some ideas and stuff.
Exactly.
So I guess you're in agreement that this is a very organic field. People are learning from each other. They're sharing ideas. They're collaborating even when they don't even know each other.
Yeah.
And that's how DJs have worked and remixers. They basically take each other's tracks and try them in different ways. And okay. So how do you approach creating a new track?
I'm mostly the one with a total idea. I have like, I want this kind of synth. I want this kind of melody.
He has it in his mind, like the whole track is already.
The build up, the arrangement, and then I thought, I want something like this. And mostly he's like, okay, let's try it. And I build a sound, and he plays some stuff, and then we mostly start like that. Because I can be like, when I hear something, I can like build a whole track around it, and
he already has it.
Same with arenas.
Yeah.
At the melody, okay, let's do it like this and build it up like this, make a break like this, and that's how I mostly start.
That's great. So I was going to ask you about sound design, because you said that the piece that we are doing in our site this month was all done from scratch.
Yeah, the alpha one is like the old leaf you made in Reason.
Yeah.
It's like an old built-in Reasons in
just,
the
just one square.
Patch cords hanging on all the places.
Yeah, it's actually just one square with I think a distortion on it and some reverb and
types. No, not a lot of reverb.
A little bit of
delay.
Yeah, a lot of delay. Yeah.
A little bit of reverb and 2 distortions.
Yeah.
And then compressed in the end.
You use the built-in effects that come with Reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use them as well. Yeah. Sometimes when we work in Cubase, we also use different FX, which like VST FX.
Like third-party effects.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's just too many of them out there.
Oh, that's
a lot of them.
Yeah, you just have to find the ones you like.
Some of our members have like hundreds of plugins.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they must have sold their houses to get that.
Oh yeah. That's so much. Yeah, we use we use like Ars Acoustic Reverb.
Which one?
Audio Damage.
Audio
Tape delay.
Dub Station.
Yeah, we use that a lot.
It's really good tape delay.
So
I have the Native Instruments Complete 7.
Oh, it's a lot of them.
And then some Adam Szabo's sounds for the Massive.
Oh, Massive, yeah.
And I've been learning Massive, so I mean, a lot of our members have their other favorite synths, and it turns out that Silent is the favorite one for soft synths.
For us as well.
I think as well.
I'm gonna have to buy one.
Yeah.
It's not that much money.
No, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. Who are your influences?
Well, it's like for music, like inspiration. Of course, like big influences are like Armin, of course, Armin van Buuren, like Marcel Woods.
Marcel Woods, yeah, for sure.
Tech Trance Sound. And like, yeah, every track is different. We can get inspiration from literally every kind of music.
Sometimes tracks from the 80s, can be everything.
Get to classical music or even hip hop or dubstep.
So you live in it.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
Just listen to every kind of music and look what we can use in our, like elements we can use in our music.
Okay, so the last thing I would ask you, I know that's maybe on your mind a little bit because you're going to perform tonight.
Yeah.
What's your attitude going into a gig, into a live show?
Yeah, of course we have like all our own tracks, like we want to play our own favorites, we always play new tracks we did and selected like a lot of tracks. Like we always love to play like new material. A lot of new material, so people are like, wow, I didn't know this track, but it's a cool tune.
It's combined with a lot of tunes I already know, maybe like some own tunes as well.
Yeah. So it's like, it depends, like always we look like, okay, where are we playing? Then we find out a bit what they like, and as well as we're playing, we're like, do they like the more techy stuff, the more trancey stuff? Or have they already selected like, I think 50 tunes we really like to play?
Yeah.
Do you make decisions in the middle of the gig?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Move to a different thing?
After maybe half an hour we already see like what the people like, and then you adjust to that.
I guess you can tell by how much they're smiling and moving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If they're not smiling, not moving,
it's like
doing something else.
Wrong. Taking iPhone pictures.
Oh yeah.
Then you know you're doing good, so.